Sanibonani. My name is Begezela Mkoni, a journalism and media student.
Hi, my name is Tariro Gurure and I'm an inclusion practitioner based in Bulawayo.
So my name is Brighton Ngube, I'm a journalist based in Bulawayo. So ZEC is doing right now delimitation. They're currently engaging stakeholders, different stakeholders, the PWDs, the CSOs, the political parties about delimitation. What is delimitation? Delimitation is, it talks about dividing the country into wards and constituencies, right? Why are we dividing the country into wards and constituencies? We must come up with a threshold, a maximum threshold, a minimum threshold, where a number of, for example, a ward must have a minimum of 7,000 or a maximum of 11,000 people. So we're trying to come up with those things and say, let's divide the country into different 210 constituencies for parliamentary seats and for councillors. That's the wards. How is it done? So they look at in an area, there are some areas, some wards, for example, Ward 1 in Bulawayo, which does not meet that maximum number of people to be there in a ward. So in Ward 1 they've taken people from the suburbs, from Bradfield, from Milton High School into making that ward. So they try to make every ward equal. So why do they do delimitation? There must be election strength. People must vote for candidates which are eligible to be elected by the voters. So everyone must be represented there. There must be equality. The PWDs must be there. The people from different sectors must be there. So that's delimitation for you.
Delimitation is coming, and while it's coming, I have so many worries because my polling station has been consumed or has been moved to a different polling station. I don't know where I'll be voting, and for me as a person with a disability, there's a distance already coming from home to here, so I'm now worried that it would then further cut me out from accessing this polling station because I might not be able to get on time or might not be able to find a helper to just be generous and say, let me take you to the polling station. But however, the delimitation process is a process that we're not really happy about, especially from this side of region, from Bulawayo. We already have 12 seats in 12 constituencies in parliament, and this is not a voice enough to have our issues aired or our policy issues being talked about in parliament.
I think ZEC is doing enough. Uguti is engaged as young people, but it's unfortunate some of these things zenzela go social media, and the majority of us cannot afford it. So sigcina singani sisalele emuva. Talk about kakhulu young women in rural areas. Akula network. Before even talking about data, abala network. We are told ukuthi nxa ukhuluma nge-delimitation, they don't understand ukuthi ukhuluma ngani, abazi lutho ngoba bona kibo abakwazi uku-interacta with abantu be-ZEC. They are never online. Izinto eziningi sezenzakala online. Bona nxa ukhuluma ngoku-register ukuvota, to them what comes to mind is voting for the president. But then kule issue yokuthi uku-register ukuvota kus-affecta njani at a local level. The issue of delimitation ukuthi nxa singasa registeranga ngobunengi bethu esiqintini esihlala kiso, that means with resource allocation we may not get as ama resources are enough. So people don't know that there is need to engage young people on issues of service delivery, delimitation. Not on social media. I know ZEC is doing all they can. I've talked to a few people from ZEC. We post these things on social media. We do voter education, but sometimes we should try and reach out to as many people as possible because young people in marginalized areas don't know anything about this.
So when it comes to delimitation, people must be aware of delimitation. Residents, different wards must be aware of delimitation because at times there's this misconstrued to say delimitation also affects service delivery. Remember, for example, like Kautbach is a big ward with one councillor, with one clinic. So when it comes to delimitation, they're going to divide Kautbach into different wards, thereby having different councillors under that one constituency or one different wards. So for this means, you get to be closer to your councillor, you get to be closer, you get to know your councillor, and also you get to trace what are they doing to improve service delivery. And also look at the issue of in Bulawayo, in particular Bulawayo, Matabele North, Matabele South. There's too much apart from young people. People don't want to register to vote. Some say we have done this over the years, but nothing has changed. But guys, as a young person, what motivates you when you wake up in the morning? There's no zesa, there's no water. There's a big motivation for you to wake up and go and register to vote and go and cast your vote.